Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mikkel Drew Pelham. I talk about digital fashion design software and communication on this channel. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. I was so excited to chat with Finn Cronin on this month's CAD Chats. Previously, we'd only exchanged voice messages on LinkedIn, so it was great to finally be able to talk to her directly. Her career thus far and everything she's had the opportunity to work on and create was so interesting to hear about. It was also really cool to hear how she uses 2D and 3D digital fashion design software.
I got into fashion about a little over 10 years ago. It's my second career. I used to be a professional ballet and modern dancer, and I had to retire because my body said no more. And I had to find something that was equally technical and creative that really could go the distance with me for the rest of my life. And so I went to this, people had been telling me for a long time, go to this fashion program, you'd be so great at it. I said, no way, I cannot go back to school for art. I was in Seattle and I did that program. And then I graduated and moved to New York. And no one would hire me, so I got internships. I got one at Cynthia Rowley, and then after that, it was kind of off to the races. And I've worked for Ralph Lauren. I worked at J. Crew when Jenna was there. I've worked for Banana Republic. I've freelanced everywhere. I've done every category. Now I freelance, and I'm working for a company called Stateless. They're a design and consulting firm, and it's a nice little small team, and we have a lot of clients. And so now I work as a designer for them. You know, it used to always be Illustrator, and I had to learn how to sketch in Illustrator before I learned how to sketch by hand. In school, I was taught to sketch everything to 1/8 inch scale of my pattern. Thank God I don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
My very first job in New York, I had my boss, who used to be a fashion illustrator who taught herself Adobe Illustrator later. So she taught me how to sketch in Illustrator. I had to sketch 8 hours a day. I had to sketch floats and flats and everything. So it was always Illustrator until about 4 years ago, I fell in love with Clo 3D, and that became my obsession. And now I've had to go back at this new job and sketch in Illustrator again after a little bit of a break.
Yeah, Illustrator, it feels like it never goes away. It's always there lingering.
Yep. I tend to use my iPad to start sketches on. So for that, I will use like Adobe Fresco, which is like a Procreate. And then I'll go into Adobe. I do use Photoshop as well. And then I also know how to use Maya to do hard surface modeling, and I know how to use Mari. I love the speed. You know, when I'm sketching a lot of ideas and I want to do 2 or 3 ideas, for somebody, it's really nice to just like pull it over, do different iterations and kind of see what they like, take a step back. It makes everything much faster. It's very clear where the stitches are. You know, there's no interpretations of what you meant. For a couple of years, I had to sketch by hand, and it was very painful to photocopy my body sketch and then insert new design lines.
Yeah.
Don't prefer that.
Yeah.
Speed, but also, you know, the idea of being able to show proportion and things like that, especially in 3D, that's the hardest stuff to understand, even from a fashion flat. If you're not putting it on an avatar, it's hard to tell what the pants and the top are going to look like together. Right. You know, how to style things together. That's a cool thing you can do in 3D. That's a great way to use CAD software. In Clo, I love the speedy render. And in Illustrator, I love outline view. Command Y.
Really?
Because this job for me is pretty new, and I go into people's sketches and maybe they wouldn't have sketched the way that I would, as cleanly as I would, with an outline, and then I have everything grouped a certain way. But sometimes there's just a mess happening there and I don't know what's going on, and I cannot grab what I want, and Command Y is like X-ray. I want that stitch line and I can just pull it out. I don't have to click into 5,000 layers to get it.
Right.
So that's and then the rotate with the little, and you can turn the pattern around. That's my other favorite.
I think you're the first person I know who's ever said that they actually like outline mode. Yes.
Because sometimes you just like when you go into someone else's sketches and they're just like layering chunks of stuff and it's all clipping masked and you
Oh, I
can't see
know.
what's going on. It's a mess in there. Sometimes Command Y is just an easier way to see what's going on. You can also see how many stray points there are, and then the cleanup function is very nice for that too. Celine did this collection where they're kind of outside wearing these like leather, beautiful jackets, and then these crazy skirts that look like bells. Like they
Hmm.
were like rigid crinolines and they kind of moved a little and then they were like covered in sequins. So I was like, I'm gonna make that skirt. I I was like freezing. I found a bottom structure and put that under it, but then you could see all the bumps. And then in the end, I ended up creating like a gored skirt and giving it a little bit of puff, turning off the puff, simulating it until it was just right, and then freezing it. And that's how I was able to do that. And that took me probably like 6 hours to figure that out.
Wow.
So that was a tough one. And then I had to do all the sequins one line at a time, all the
Oh
way
my
around the skirt.
gosh. Would you ever try to recreate that?
I probably wouldn't go back to that one. That same boss, I sat down at my desk, my first real job, and she took my mouse and handed me a Wacom tablet and said, "You're going to sketch with this." And my screen faced the door, and everyone could see me struggling. I couldn't draw. But I'm so grateful for that. So definitely sketching with a Wacom tablet and Illustrator will not only save your wrist, but it also gives you a beautiful hand when you sketch. After having to go back to a 3-button mouse to do 3D, and my wrist was killing me because it had been years since I used that, I got this Logitech Lift, which is an ergonomic mouse, and it has saved my wrist, and it's such a comfortable mouse. So if you're going to be using a mouse, get an ergonomic one. Gosh, like the company I work for now, I probably have about 10 clients, maybe more. And they're all in various seasons, sometimes duplicate seasons. So I have a lot on my plate. And I actually met with one of the clients today, and he gets 3 sketch reviews in Illustrator. And then we're going to be moving on to 3D for him. My other project is to help find ways to move 3D, to integrate 3D into our processes, maybe in a less traditional way, using all these different tools and seeing what works best. So that's fun. So you can find me here on Instagram. My handle is Sharkafin. And that we have, my wife and I, we have a brand called Requin, which is basically the French word for shark. And we live by the beach here in New York. So that's where it all comes from. So REQUINNYC.com is our website if you want to have a look at what we've made. And you can find me on Instagram and at Stateless Design and Consulting.
Thanks for watching today's video. If you want to listen to our full chat, you can head over to the 383 Design Instagram page. Also, if you need to learn to use Illustrator for fashion design or Clo 3D, click the links in the description to sign up for one of my beginner courses. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video if you find it helpful. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next time.